So you're new to Icarus and you want to know how to get exotics. In this mission guide, I'm going to walk you through farming exotics step by step as early as possible. The mission I'm going to be showing you is called Deep Vein Extraction, and it can be found here on the mission tree. Alright, so what do you need to get started? Well, first, you need to have a character that's at least level 10. This is because you need 2 blueprints. To complete this mission, you'll need the orbital exchange interface, which is locked behind the short-range radio. But other than those blueprints, nothing else is actually required for this mission. If you do have any workshop gear like armor or pickaxes, it will make farming exotics much faster and easier, but they're not required. So now onto the mission. First, you should find yourself spawning somewhere in the L12 section. The first thing that you should do is head here on the map. There's a cave located near the middle of M12. This is where you'll need to mine some resources. And as a quick disclaimer, I am doing this with workshop items. If you have workshop items, this will be much easier, but they're not needed. So if you don't have any, don't worry. You will need to make some basic tools like a pickaxe, axe, and a bow, but that's about it. Alright, so now that you've made it to the cave, the first thing that you're going to need is iron and copper. You need enough to make 7 ingots of each. Then the next step is to collect enough materials to build a small shelter. Once you've done this, you'll need to craft a furnace to smelt your ores into ingots, and a crafting bench to create the orbital exchange interface. Once you have the interface crafted, you can then place it and open its inventory where you can request a delivery ship. This delivery ship should land pretty close to your dropship. To check this, just open your map and it will appear as a pink marker somewhere near your spawn. And now that the delivery ship is here, it's time to actually go get the exotics. To do this, you can go 2 different ways, but for the sake of this video, I'm only going to be showing you the north route, which is the safer way to go. And while this is the safer route, you still may run into bears and wolves, so it's a good idea to craft some cloth armor and some arrows, and maybe a few pillars for the journey. Alright, now that we've made it to the edge of the Arctic, here's where the mission gets a little dangerous. The Arctic has freezing cold temperatures and polar bears. If you haven't already done so at this point, craft some cloth armor and pillars. The cloth armor should keep you warm just long enough to get the exotics and get out, and the pillars are a good way of dealing with polar bears. By pressing R to see the variance of a pillar, you can place 2 to 3 slanted pillars on top of each other and escape polar bears. It also gives you an easy way to kill the polar bears by standing on top and shooting down. If this is the first time you're ever doing this mission, you can also take some extra time just to make a small base with a campfire and cook some food to heal with, and maybe a bed to respawn at, just in case you die. Alright, so now on to the exotics. Once you're ready, head into the Arctic, and at the top right corner of O13, you can find the cave where the exotics spawn. This cave does have a chance to spawn blocked off by a stone wall. If it is, all you need to do is mine through it to have access to the cave. Now, once you're inside the cave, anywhere from 1 to 3 cave worms will spawn inside with you. You need to kill the cave worms before harvesting the exotics, or they will poison you. Now, once you've killed the cave worms, you can finally collect the first of 4 exotic deposits. When you're ready to collect the other 3, head left outside the cave and follow the cliff wall until you find a large crack in the ice. Drop into the crack and follow it to the second exotic deposit. Once you've collected the second deposit, make your way out of the crevasse the same way you came in, and after exiting the crevasse, you should see a small rocky hill. You want to run up the side of the hill, and you should be able to drop down on the third exotics deposit. Once you've mined it, look east and head to the cliff wall. You'll find a sunken ice pit that contains the last deposit. After mining the 4th deposit, you're all set to travel back to your spawn. Once you're back at your spawn, you need to remember to do this. This part is very important. You need to place all of your exotics into the exchange interface and send them back to space. If you don't do this step, you will not get any exotics for your time and effort. Once you've sent the exotics back to the station, you should see that your mission is complete, and at this point, you can leave the mission. And congrats on successfully getting your first exotics. If this video helped you, consider liking and subscribing, and go watch this video. I'll see you next time.